and the latest NFL news featuring Loud Esmond, Christian Giordani, Rocky Giordani, and Jeremy James. Bet on us to make you a better.
What?
Let's get ready to steer the line.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another segment of Steer Line. I'm Christian Giordani. We have Mr. Jeremy James and Mr. Loud Esmond. How you guys doing?
Good. I noticed in your text messages you always refer to him as Jeremy. So I'm thinking, do you think he's unclean? Is there some sort of infection problem I'm unaware of?
You're the one who spells it with a G.
Well, I'm trying. You spell it Jermy. I'm just assuming you're misspelling the word germ and calling him Jeremy. So I'm just wondering what that's all about. So it seems unfair. He looks. Jeremy has always had fine. What do you call the habits of being clean? It's
Hygiene.
Thank you. The word was not coming to me. His hygiene was always impeccable.
I'm really glad we're discussing my hygiene and the pronunciation of my name here on the beginning of the show.
Well,
fantastic.
We want to clear things up. Anyway, sorry. Christian, you're in Mexico for a family wedding. I assume you haven't had a lot of time to prepare for the show.
I got a little bit.
You got a little bit? All right. Well, we'll start with, does Jeremy have anything he'd like to start with?
Nothing in particular. I mean, Christian, what's going on out there that you want to discuss? Because I know we usually like to do some NFL news.
Yeah, NFL news right out the gate. You guys know me. Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen have been bumping heads all training camp, all mini camp. These two guys can't even be in the same locker room together. And it's to the point where one of these guys is going to get traded. Obviously, it's going to be Stephon Diggs over Josh
Allen. Whoa. Where is this coming from? I haven't seen this. Have I been living under a rock?
I guess
I know there was a weird thing at training camp, but
it's quoted as a personal issue, but there's a lot of stuff with these guys' burner accounts. For you old guys who don't know what burner accounts are, it's these guys secret accounts on Twitter, secret accounts on Instagram, that they trash talk other people with. And they found
Stephon. So what's the backstory?
They found Stephon Diggs' burner account, and he's been recently tweeting throughout this week how terrible Josh Allen is.
Wow. So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I hadn't heard any of this. I thought all the issues were like with his offensive coordinator and his coach and the way they were running the offense and the way he was being used in it. Hearing that he's butting heads with his quarterback is kind of a surprise, but I mean, if that's the case, they're professionals. They're gonna have to figure something out because I don't know how easy it's going to be to trade him off. How much it would hit them in dead money, or what they would want for him, what people would give up at this point. Who do they replace him with?
Well,
did somebody sleep with somebody else's wife or something? I mean, do we know?
Ginobili, Tony Parker situation. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of it happens between Stephon Diggs. I wouldn't say threats, but suggestions of him not playing at the beginning of the season until some changes are made. And, Josh Allen, the player he is, he doesn't like that. So there's obviously going to be butting heads.
All right. So let's get to the backstory. Diggs wants more money. He wants a contract extension. Is that what you're saying?
It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with his utilization within the team.
And
nobody gets more passes thrown to him than him. What else does he want?
He wants more help, is what he wants.
He doesn't want to be the only guy.
Number 2.
He doesn't want to be the only guy. Gabe Davis is a fine number 2, but I don't think he's the greatest guy out there.
Their tight ends inconsistent. Their second receiver and third receiver are inconsistent. They show flashes, but that's why I suggested they bring in someone like Hopkins, and that way it'd be somebody on their side that would give them a true 1-2 punch where he doesn't have to do it all, because he has been doing it all kind of. They can't even get a great running game going.
No. The guy who's been doing it all is Josh Allen for the Bills.
Josh Allen has been doing great, don't get me wrong, and I'm the first guy to knock down Josh Allen. but Stephon Diggs is arguably the best receiver in the league. He averages the most
Christian,
yards per game.
For you to knock down Josh Allen, you'd have to stand on a ladder.
We didn't run that far in height. We're not that far.
And use a bat.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so when did this all come out? Like, is this like is this out in the open now? Is ESPN talking about it?
About 3 days ago.
Oh.
3 days ago when I was traveling out here, and as of
on
right
the
now,
Mexican radio.
There are trade options for Stephon Diggs, and the number one guy who wants him is the Denver Broncos.
I mean, there's going to be people who would like to have him on the team, but I mean, again, what are the Bills going to want? You know, and will people pay for it? What he's going to want a new contract possibly if he gets traded to a new team, and then again, they go get Hopkins. He can't be the only guy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It would be tougher on him than it would be on Stephon Diggs. So
as of right now, Stephon Diggs is getting paid $39 million this year, upcoming. The highest paid receiver in NFL.
Shut up and play, for God's sake.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. $39 million. Take every single
million?
snap for that.
I know a bunch of running backs that would like to make anywhere near half that this season.
Okay, so here's the deal. Stephon Diggs is not sitting out because he's got $40 million on the table. Stephon Diggs is not going to sacrifice that money. He's going to have to get over whatever burr he has in his bonnet, be in his bonnet, burr in his saddle, whatever it is. And, you know, him and Josh Allen, if I'm the general manager and the coach, I say the two of you are getting in a room and we're settling this and we're moving on.
Exactly, one way or another. And these guys used to be thick as thieves as short as last season ago, man. You would see these guys on the NFL off clips, you know, when they're talking on the Thanksgiving game, you know, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs were tearing up how thankful they are for each other. So it's such a weird switch of scenario now, seeing that they're
there's something personal that happened here.
It's quoted when a reporter asked them what the problem was. It is quoted as personal issues.
Yeah, something happened we're not aware of.
Yeah, I would have to say really quick though, if it truly is he wants more help, if I were the Bills, I find a way to bring in either Hopkins because they need another better number two, or you bring in Dalvin Cook and give him a legit running game. So Allen's not doing all that running that he has been doing. And you get someone like Dalvin Cook who can consistently give you 1,100, 1,200 yards. That's going to help on the passing game. It won't rely completely on their number one receiver.
Yeah, and Gabe Davis is a fine number two. He's a great deep threat kind of guy to go down on the outside of the sideline. But you don't have that other guy who can be in the slot when Stephon Diggs wants to go on that wide out route.
Okay, so being that this is a betting show, right now the Buffalo Bills are plus 125 and the short price to win the AFC East, followed by the Jets at plus 250, the Dolphins at plus 300, and the Patriots at plus 800. If the two best players on the Bills offense go into the season in a feud, what does that do? What's your next team that you pick, Jeremy?
Miami. Personally, I think that Miami is going to make a huge jump on defense, which was improving already at the end of last season. The defensive coordinator, they added a great cornerback from the Rams in why can't I think of his name, Christian? I don't know why.
Christian will remember him.
Jalen Ramsey, there you go. And then, you know, as long as Tua is healthy, that offense is, I think, going to be a big play offense again. And they're still sniffing around Dalvin Cook, which would be a huge add for them. So I personally like Miami, you know, as the number two team in that division anyway. And I think they could be a sneaky number one if Buffalo falters early.
Christian, you're number two?
I'm going to take the Jets. I would take Miami. The only question for them is Tua Tagovailoa going to stay healthy this entire season? You know, the Jets have a top 10 all-time quarterback in Aaron Rodgers now. Sauce Gardner is arguably the best defensive back in the game, and Garrett Wilson is going to make that jump as a top 5 wide receiver this year. So they're going to have an electric offense, a dead stop defense. It's going to be very hard for these guys not to win this division.
I don't like the Jets because I think Aaron Rodgers is a petty little bitch who I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers. Never have, and not going to. He's old. He didn't have a great season last year. I think that's age. Now, he's with the Jets. He's reborn. Yeah, whatever. Let's see it on the field. How did that work out for Russell Wilson last year? So, so I'm pumping the brakes on the Jets because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Miami, I don't know if Tua can stay healthy. So I'm a little scared of them. So for me, as a gambling man, plus 850 to win the division with the Bills having a fight with their top 2 players, I don't trust Miami for Tua to stay healthy. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is all that. If I'm looking for value as a bettor, Al, what does $50 on Patriots pay you if they win the division at plus 850? $500? Yeah. Around $500 on a $50 bet. It's a long shot, but honestly, there's no value. Miami's plus 300. So what? The Bills are plus 125. So what? The Jets are plus 225. So what? If you're going to look for a dark horse that might win that division, the Patriots have a great defense. Bill O'Brien was the offensive coordinator at Alabama for Mac Jones, and they're going to sign DeAndre Hopkins.
If they sign DeAndre Hopkins, I like their chances a lot more. I don't like Juju Smith-Schuster as their number 1 guy. Patrick Mahomes made it work last season, but Mac Jones is no Patrick Mahomes.
No. I agree.
So you make that bet now before that number goes up when they sign DeAndre Hopkins.
When they sign Hopkins, it'll drop to plus 600.
Yeah, and that with that
wait,
new offensive coordinator.
Jeremy, hang on. Did you just make a comment on a betting strategy?
Well, it made sense, yeah, because I know that there's a really good chance he gets signed. So if there's that good chance he gets signed, you get the good numbers now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy says, run to the window right now and put your money on the Patriots plus 850 to win the division.
I think this is the first time we all unanimously agree that this is a good bet to make.
I mean, I'm not saying it's likely, but betting is all about value, in my opinion. Other people may vary, but like in horse racing, the favorite in horse racing only wins 30% of the time. 70% of the time, a horse other than the favorite wins. And if you bet on the favorite, you're usually having to bet more money than you're going to get paid back because it's the favorite in the race. So I'm always looking for value. What horse at 10 to 1, at 12 to 1, at 14 to 1 has a realistic chance of winning? That's, what I consider value betting. In this case, if you don't believe Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers, and if you don't believe that the Bills are going to be cohesive because they got a big fight at the top of their roster, and if you don't believe Tua can stay healthy the entire season, then the Patriots with a great defense and the likely signing of DeAndre Hopkins and Bill O'Brien, Mac Jones's offensive coordinator that made him a Heisman Trophy candidate and a national champion, coming to run the offense there for the Patriots. If they get 3 more wins this season, they could win the division.
Yeah, and that division's going to be a dogfight when they all play each other too. I mean, you sneak in a couple of division wins, and who knows who can sneak into the top spot there. Like I say, they had someone like Hopkins, and the Patriots could be right in the mix. Because one of those teams, at least, maybe two, aren't going to be as good as people expect. It just happens every year. Everyone thought the AFC West last year was going to be that amazing division, and it was pretty much
And
terrible.
now this year it's the AFC East.
This year it's the East because they got all the big
throw.
quarterbacks. So it's going to be a fun
Remember
division
when
to
Nabi
watch.
Awesome Law said the Philadelphia Eagles were a dream team?
Oh yeah, it was a
Throwing it
horrible
out
season.
there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my God! All right, let me. Can we talk USFL for just a second?
Go ahead.
It's divisional championship weekend in the USFL. The North plays the North, the South plays the South. You have two teams in the North, in the Pittsburgh Maulers and the Michigan Panthers, that are both under 500 records on the season. Both teams play good defense. Their offense is crap. Now, the Maulers, or it's the Maulers have found a little something on offense with the new quarterback they brought in. But the over-under number in that game is 38.5. The last time these two teams played, they didn't break 25. So, as far as I'm concerned, in game number 1 on Saturday for the North Division Championship, Michigan Panthers, Pittsburgh Maulers, the bet to play is the under. And then on Sunday night, you have the New Orleans Breakers playing the Stallions from Birmingham. Both those teams play a ton of offense. The Stallions suck on defense, and the Breakers are okay on defense. The over-under on that game is like 44.5, and I'm saying over. And I'm taking the dogs in both games. I don't care who the dog is in either game. If they're getting plus 3.5 or more, I'm on them because I think both these games are going to be close. And I think the first game's going under and the second game's going over. All right, there's your USFL picks. Nobody else on this broadcast gives a rat's ass or even knows anything about it. So we'll move on from there.
Actually,
you do?
This past weekend, I was home on Saturday, woke up, drinking my coffee, flipped on the TV, and there happened to be one of the games on. So I left it on. I was watching for a while. And what I noticed most about this game was there were more people on the sidelines with the teams and on the field than there were in the stands for those games. It kills any excitement, any you can't have a spectator sport with no spectators. It just kills it on television. They need to find a way to get some crowds in there. The XFL found a way to get some crowds in some of those stadiums. They need home stadiums in the worst way to USFL.
I think Fox was trying to find out, could you have a sport where you just have no audience live? And could it work on TV? Let's face it, Fox owns the league. Fox is a television network. And I think they were trying to figure out, could you have a sport? Because imagine how much cost you remove if you don't have any fans in the stands. Imagine how small a venue you could play in if you didn't care if you had fans in the stands.
You can high school stadium if you want.
Exactly. So I think what they're trying to do is create a totally for TV product. And what we're finding out is it doesn't work.
No, it reminds me, I know you guys don't watch, but, back in 2020, at the height of COVID, when the WWE continued to run shows on television with no crowd, it was unwatchable. And that, it's different because it's a performance and everything. But
being in a WWE crowd, that's the whole thing.
That's the fun of it. That it's all the excitement and the people reacting to what they're seeing and watching is what you get when you watch it at home. And it's the same thing watching football. I know that's different. It's a real spectator sport. But if the fans aren't cheering or booing or jumping up and down and getting into the game, how am I supposed to? Makes it tough to even enjoy it.
Yeah, it was like watching the end.
Your girlfriend or your mom would just slap you around, Christian? What
That
was
was
that?
You know how it is.
That's
But
all
yeah,
I
you know
heard.
what? It's exactly how it was during the NBA playoffs in the bubble when there was no one there to watch.
Oh, it's either something at a bad hell.
When you watch the Lakers win that chip, it felt very unsatisfactory. Even I'm a Lakers hater, but still, it was terrible to watch those finals going on.
I agree.
Yeah.
I want to run through something really quick. Other divisions, AFC North, Bengals plus 140, Ravens plus 275, Browns plus 425, Steelers plus 600. Do you think those are in the right order? And who's the dark horse, Jeremy?
Make that bet on the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, at 600. I mean, they're still going to have a defense, still going to have a run game. They've added some pieces. He's going into year 2. Kenny Pickett is.
George Pickens is great.
Yeah, George Pickens is going to be a fantastic receiver. And they've got what I consider just a top 3 coach in the league. He just knows how to win and motivate those guys. I think the Steelers are being overlooked. Especially if they're being ranked behind Cleveland. Cleveland needs Deshaun Watson to be Deshaun Watson of 3 years ago to have a shot. We don't know if that's.
I don't think he ever returns to that form. Sorry.
For Cleveland to be a contender to win that division, they need both Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper to return to full form, and I don't see that happening anytime soon.
All right, now we go to the NFC West. 49ers minus 150. Seahawks plus 250. Rams plus 1,000. And the longest odds on any team to win a division, Cardinals plus 2,700. Does anybody have a quibble with any of this?
Well, this is my division. I rock with these guys all day.
And mine too, because I live in Seahawk land.
Undoubtedly, this is San Francisco's division to win or lose. It's going to be very hard for Seattle to repeat what they did last year. They got some good key pieces. The Rams, even though they bulked their offensive line, it's between how healthy Matthew Stafford is and how good the secondary of the young guys like Jacoby Durant and the other young guy who just got drafted this year I'm losing his name, how good those guys can step up. And the Cardinals very well might be the first 0-17 team.
Yeah, they may not win a game.
Actually, before we move on, I have a bet here as well in this division.
All right.
If you want a super dark horse, you know what? Go ahead and bet on the Rams because if he's healthy,
they still have Cooper Kupp.
If he is healthy, yes,
Stafford.
they have the best quarterback in that division if he's healthy. They have the best receiver and one of the top receivers in the league if Cooper bounces back, and they got one of the best defensive players in the league still in Aaron Donald. When you have guys like that, they might find a way to win some games. We don't expect them to if they can bring it all together and stay healthy for a season. So another dark horse pick because you don't know if Seattle can repeat and who's going to be the quarterback.
Betting is all about value, right? And so am I going to go 250 on the Seahawks? No, because the value isn't there. But the Rams at plus 1,000, yeah, quite a possibility. Here's one that I love. NFC North, Detroit Lions plus 145, Vikings plus 330, Bears plus 420, Green Bay Packers plus 550 to win the NFC North.
They're another dark horse I would bet on in that division because it's wide open, I think. And if Jordan Love can play ball, well enough this season, they've still got some talent on the offensive side. They can still run the ball with Aaron Jones, and you never know with that whole division.
Let me say this. I love the Lions. They have an incredibly difficult schedule. The Vikings, Kirk Cousins on the last year of his contract. They do have Justin Jefferson. They gave Dalvin Cook away. Their defense isn't that great. The Bears, sorry, I don't trust Justin Fields. The Packers have a top 10 defense, a dual-headed monster at running back, a great offensive line, and apparently they believe enough in this young quarterback that they told Aaron Rodgers to go pack a bag.
They also gave him an extra $25 million.
1 minute. 1 minute.
It worked with Aaron Rodgers when they sent Favre packing, and they're betting on it again. It's the same kind of thing. And if Jordan Love does anything, like I said, comparable to a halfway decent season, they could win that division.
By the way, Jeremy, there's no legal sports betting in California where you are, so you'll have to go to Vegas or somebody to place all these bets you've been talking about tonight.
It's 2 hours up the road.
Oh, by the way, can I get a Saints jersey update? Do we have any idea when?
I send my money.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Problem is that sale went up, so I'm trying to find it at the price we found before. So
okay,
yeah,
just don't.
While we're here, I do have a quick MLB bet. Orioles to win the division plus 800. The Rays are declining while the Orioles are still young and hungry. I think it's the best bet for the MLB season. Anything else before we go, guys?
Let's wrap it up, boys.
All right, let's
We're
wrap.
out of here. We're still lying, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Peace.
All right, guys.